Hi everyone, welcome back to the FEI YouTube channel. My name is Han and today I'm here with Olympian Amanda Ross. Amanda, thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for having me, Han.
And we've also got the very gorgeous Romeo here to help us out today. So Amanda, I want to quiz you on all things girthing up.
Okay.
Now I know girthing up sounds like it should be something that's really simple and we all kind of know, but there are a lot of different girths. I know. There are a lot of different girths out there, different styles, materials, shapes. So how do you work out exactly where you should be positioning your girth?
The horse's conformation will have a certain place where the girth is going to naturally go to, and that's called the girth groove.
Right.
So with Romeo here, you can see that where his girth sits naturally, it's pretty much straight underneath the saddle. So he's got a straight girth groove. It's not always the case, but that doesn't mean that it isn't normal.
It's really interesting actually, because I would say with my own horse Peach that generally my eye wants me to put the girth there, but I find it tends to just come forward the slightest bit.
And that's perfectly normal because that's going with her conformation. So the girth basically will sit in the position of least pressure.
Yep.
So if hers is forward, Romeo's is straighter, then that's just going with their natural shape.
Now, obviously your girth can be too loose. We know.
Yeah, we know that, yeah.
You're not going to have a great outcome if it's too loose. Can you actually over tighten your girth, and how do you kind of work out where it should be?
Yeah, you can, Han. So the horse is constantly moving, so if you've got it cranked up so tight, it's just not going to be able to do that properly. When I put the girth on, I make sure that I've got the same pressure into both of the girth points.
Yep.
And you should just be able to get a little bit of your hand below here, so it doesn't need to be so firmly tight that the horse can't move, but obviously you've got to make sure it's firm enough that the saddle's going to stay in place.
So we've covered position and we've covered tightness, so what about length?
Okay, when I've got a long point saddle, so you've got a girth that's going to be situated down around here, I always want to make sure that the girth is not directly behind the elbow, so you've got to give this area of freedom to move. So where it's buckled here or even the next one's up would be, give it enough movement here. The other thing is too, you want to make sure that it's not sitting under your foot. So if it's done up a bit too high, then you'll find that your leg is going to sit around where the girth buckles are, which is uncomfortable, plus you don't want them to get caught, say, in the spur.
You don't want that.
Don't want that.
And what about if we've got short points on our saddle?
Okay, so when you've got, particularly say my jumping saddles, they have short points. Where my knee sits like that, there's an area behind that knee, and that's the perfect spot to have your buckles.
Right.
Yeah, so what that does is I find it actually gives me a little bit of security there, but it just means that that buckle isn't creating a bulk underneath my leg, so I can have a really close contact with my leg. Alright,
so is there anything else that we need to know about our girth?
Well, Han, I think the biggest tip that I can give everybody is that I clean my stuff every time it's used. And it's not just so that it stays in good condition and lasts me for longer, it's actually a really big safety check. So things that I look for are cracks in the fabric, I look for any wear and tear with the buckles. Also look for, sometimes you can get loose stitching, and also just look and check the health of these holes here, that they are not starting to stretch. So that's super important, because if you don't clean it regularly, you don't check it, then you miss these things.
And then next minute, you're not on your horse anymore.
Yeah, it's just bad.
We definitely don't want that.
The other thing that I am really passionate about is not girthing the horses up in a great hurry.
Right.
And also adjusting it evenly on both sides. So this girth, I popped that on hole 2 on the other side. And when I started off, the first thing I did is just put it onto the first one. And I do it quite gently. And then basically like quite at a slow speed, just lifting that girth up. Now, they're both on hole 2, so I'll go over the other side and pop it onto 3.
Yep.
And then same thing, pop this onto 3 onto this side. If any of the horses are a little bit sensitive to being girthed up, do the process slowly. I don't necessarily hop on them straight away. I might walk them out, let them relax a little bit, and then do it up. So it's one of those processes. Never do it up too quick, too tight. Take your time if that's what your horse needs.
And would you ever have a situation where, for example, you're on hole 2 here and then maybe on the other side we're on hole 3? Is that something that's okay to do?
I think so, because it's pretty even. And if you wanted them to be on both on hole 3 and that was too tight, then yeah, you're definitely better off having them 2 on one side and 3 on the other.
It's actually very interesting to me that something that appears so simple on the surface, actually there's quite a bit to it.
So true.
And I feel like if you're at home and you're thinking the same thing, if you do have any more questions about this or any saddle related questions, leave them in the comment section down below, and make sure to follow the FEI YouTube channel, because we are doing a little bit of a saddle related series at the moment. So if you do want to see more videos like this one, make sure to like this video, give it a thumbs up, and we will all see you on the next one. Bye guys.